Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Derek with Ultimate Cleaner Pros out of Louisville, Kentucky. This video is for people who don't have anywhere to really park their vans at, and they need to make sure that especially the truck mount doesn't freeze up. So I'm gonna just show you a quick demonstration of what I do. I brought this van home because I have an early appointment in the morning, so I went on and brought this one home with me. So that way it'll save me about 20 minutes in the morning having to get up and go pick it up. All right, so I'm gonna turn the camera around. All right, so with this, I run a Pro Chem Peak in this van, and what I've done is I've disconnected the water supply. So I disconnected this already. I've already cycled the water out, but I'm going to show you the process that I used to do this. I do this whenever I need to bring a van to the house. Instead of making a drive to go pick it up. All right, so I disconnected the water supply from the water tank. Okay, I turned my auxiliary water pump off so that way no water won't be cycling through. I had these made. I had one. I had to go pick up a new one today. So this is a brand new one. The other one had got a little leak in it. So what I do is I use this hose right here. This is about a 6-foot hose or whatever. I also use it when I'm gonna be cleaning off my equipment in between runs and stuff, where I can do a quick connect with my hydro sprayer wand, and just connect it into this area where this is at. So you really don't need this part. I'm try to work this with one hand. You can take that part out if you need to. Put that back. All right, but this helps the water cycle out. So what I do is I start the machine up. I connect the male end into my truck mount. This has a dual wand setup on it. So the process I'm going to show you, I also do it for both ends, for the top and the bottom. So that way that I make sure I get all the water out of the lines. Take this and put this in my water tank. If you don't have a water tank, you can just cycle it out somewhere into a drain or something like that. That's just clean water coming out of your machine. So once I do this, I turn my machine on. I turn the machine on, and then I turn on my solution, and that's going to kick the water out of the machine and start cycling it out. Because a lot of people are really concerned about the machines freezing. So if there's no water in it to freeze, then you don't have any issues. You won't have any issues with anything freezing, especially if you run what are those things called? The heat exchangers. I'm sorry, I had a brain fart. If you run the heat exchangers, you definitely don't want those heat exchangers messing up on you and freezing up. But like I said, you turn your machine on and you cycle the water out. I'm not going to turn it on now because, like I said, I've already cycled the water out. And you run it into your fresh water tank, or you can just cycle it out to the ground. All right, so I'm going to be right back with the other step that I do to insulate the van. So hold on a second. I'll be right back. Okay, so one more important thing is, if you don't want your van to freeze, a lot of the times your stuff in your van freeze up, but due to a lot of air flowing through the van. So I went to Lowe's, I believe, and got these here. And what these do, they prevent the air from blowing through the van. So I'm gonna go ahead and install these, and I'll be right back. All right, so I'm gonna try to step back to give you a clearer picture of this. Give me 1 second. I'm going to try to hold this door back so I can step back so you can see it. Give me 1 second. All right, so now I have the side of the van completely sealed off. Okay, so now you can see that's sealed off. Okay, so the next step, you want to put some plastic up over this. Like I said, it's all about the airflow that's going to be traveling through your van that causes the freezing. So to go back to the steps, we cycled the water out of the machine, and now we sealed this door off here. So it's been protected. Like I said, you can buy this stuff at your local Home Depot, Lowe's, or Menards if you have one of those in your area. And the next thing I do, I'm going to put some plastic over top of it. You can buy that like a vapor seal or something like that from the same place, Lowe's, Home Depot, or Menards. So I'm going to be back with, show you how this is set up. All right, so now what I've done, I've put a plastic over top of it. And like I said, you don't want, the main thing you want to stop is airflow from flowing throughout your van. Once that moving air gets to going through it, it's going to it'll definitely start some freezing. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm going to put a covering over the top. I have a big sheet of a big thick sheet of insulation that I'm gonna put over the top of here, because I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna set set up my heater here in a second. So bear with me, I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back, and this is an insulation that I bought from Menards. I'm sure you can get it at your Home Depot or Lowe's as well. And this is gonna run along the top of the van, along the top across all your equipment and everything. And what this is gonna do is gonna keep the heat, you see how thick that is, it's gonna keep the heat sitting down in the area where you already have it blocked off. So I'm gonna go ahead and install this, and I'll show you how it looks. Okay, so now I have the big sheet of insulation installed over the top. And like I said, it's gonna keep that heat from my heater. It's gonna keep that down inside the van. Keep it close to your machine. Show you how it looks from the inside. All right. So the next step is to use some plastic. Like I said, you can get some vapor seal, and that stuff it comes in a large size, and it's pretty wide and stuff, because it's used to go down inside of houses, crawl spaces. I'm going to gotta get that radiator repaired. I think that's what happened to my other machine. Okay, so got that, and then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna run some more plastic or my insulation across the front of these seats, because this van has a console water tank. So I don't want any of this stuff to freeze, which the chances of it freezing are pretty slim, but you never know. So I'm gonna go ahead and insulate this, and then I'll be back and show you the finished product, and we'll start with the heater that I use. Okay, so now I have this covering the front seat and that console water tank. You'll look how it looks on both sides. And like I said, that's gonna keep that heat concentrated back in the back part of the van where your equipment is, and more importantly, your truck mount. All right, so now we've got this side sealed off, so no airflow is gonna go through here. So we can get ready to close this on up. Well, let me see, I'm gonna go ahead and close it. Because that's completely sealed off. No air's flowing through. So we'll close that. Close that. All right, we got this taken care of. Because like I said, it's gonna keep that heat sitting in the back in a small contained area. And now here's the heater that I'm going to use. I got this off of Amazon. And as you see, there's two different settings on here. For some of you guys who's in like up north or whatever, who get those extreme cold temperatures, this has two settings on it for the heat. It got down to about 16 degrees with a wind chill down below zero last night here, and this van was at least 50 degrees inside this van. So I only had it set on the lowest setting, which is 1300 watts. But for other guys, you know, gals who's in areas where it get colder, you can also have the option of 1500 watts on this. It's a Life Smart heater on Amazon. If you don't find this brand, if you find one just like it, a lot of those things are the same exact product, but here's a far back look at it. This little heater kicks butt. So I'm going to get some of this stuff straightened up in here and show you how I have my heater set up. Stay with me. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. And with this here, this heater, it has a tilt over control mechanism on it. And if it falls over and that lets out, it's going to shut the heater off. So make sure you're not on too far of an incline. This driveway sits on an incline, but not too bad. I know where to set this up at. But of course, you know, you have the bottom of your van. So what I do, I just set it on a piece of cardboard or something to make sure that this stays in. Set that on here. And of course, you know, you want to be safe. You don't want to have it sitting too close to anything. That CRB will be fine right there. It sits there all the time in front of this heat. It's not going to hit it directly on or catch anything on fire. It's going to spread the heat out evenly because this has not only does it have heat cores, it also has a fan to blow the heat around evenly. All right. So get all that out of the way. And I'll be right back in a second. All right, so I've ran my extension cord. I've been using the extension cord for a while. This thing got some miles on it, but it's still kicking butt. I'll probably get a new one though this winter as it gets colder. And you can hear the heat running. And like I said, this is a great heater, man. I mean, it's small, but like I said, with everything closed in like this, last night, like I said, it held up. It was probably about 50 to maybe close to 60 degrees in this van last night. With it's set on the lowest setting of 1300 watts. It was probably, like I said, about between 50 to 60 degrees inside this van. And the temperature outside was the wind chill was around zero, or maybe like 1 degree with the wind chill, temperature of 16 degrees. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go back in my cart and see if I can find the link to this heater. And like I said, everything else that you see, you can buy it at Home Depot. Like I said, get some vapor seal, some insulation sheets that you can buy. Like I said, this is about 1 inch thick. You don't even need that thick, but I think that's all they had at the time. And then the stuff that I had on the door. If anybody have any questions, you can post them in the comments and I'll try to answer them the best I can. But like I said, this is what I do when I need to bring a van home to keep it warm. I think it's supposed to get down into the 20s tonight. The 20s tonight. So like I said, I know that everything's secure. I drained the water out. I cut off the airflow that can come through the van to prevent any freezing, and should be good to go. So like I said, if you guys have any questions, I'm gonna go try to find the link to the heater I'm going to go try to find that and post it in the comments. All right, you guys have a good one.